I would be truly grateful if you subscribe to the channel. Your support will help this family grow, so let's move forward together. At our family's annual barbecue, she laughed loud enough for everyone to hear, "If we ever get married, he'll be lucky if I don't cheat." I stayed silent, flipping burgers, but later that night, my uncle's advice rewrote the blueprint of my life. I'm Tom Brennan, 34, a project manager for a commercial construction firm in Richmond, Virginia. My job is turning chaos into order, coordinating steel beams, concrete pours, and hundreds of workers to build skyscrapers, hospitals, schools. I see a mess of parts and envision a finished structure, solid and lasting. For 2 years, I thought my relationship with Sarah, 27, was my strongest build. We lived together in my craftsman-style house, a fixer-upper I'd spent years restoring, new wiring, refinished oak floors, a deck I built with my own hands. We had a plan, marriage, kids, a shared future. It felt like bedrock. Sarah was a spark, vibrant, quick-witted, the kind of woman who lit up rooms. Her wild streak balanced my methodical nature, or so I thought. My family loved her, her charm, her stories, the way she blended into our loud, sprawling clan. Every Labor Day weekend, my family hosts a massive barbecue at my Uncle Frank's place, a sprawling backyard affair with 3 generations, tables groaning with food, kids tearing through sprinklers, adults trading beers and stories. It's about roots, connection, the kind of day that feels like it'll last forever. Last Saturday, it was perfect, late summer sun, laughter, the smell of charcoal. I was at the grill, flipping burgers, feeling at peace. Sarah was on the deck with my cousins and aunts, holding court, her voice carrying over the music. They were talking about a celebrity wedding when my cousin Lisa asked, "So, when are you and Tom tying the knot?" Sarah's laugh cut through the noise, sharp and theatrical. "Oh, God, who knows? If we ever get married, he'll be lucky if I don't cheat." The deck went quiet. The sizzle of burgers and distant kid shrieks were the only sounds. I froze, spatula in hand, staring at grill marks. She tried to backpedal, kidding, obviously. Her laugh was forced, brittle. Mostly. A few cousins chuckled awkwardly, but the vibe was shattered. Conversation limped back to life, but the day felt tainted, like smoke had settled over it. I didn't turn around, didn't look at her, just kept grilling, calm, mechanical, while a storm churned inside. It wasn't just the disrespect, it was the audience. She'd broadcast to my entire family that our relationship was a punchline, my commitment a disposable thing. I served the food, sat with my relatives, smiled, laughed, acted like nothing had happened. Sarah kept glancing at me, testing for a reaction. I gave her nothing, a blank slate, no hint of the rage building inside. As the party wound down, my Uncle Frank pulled me aside. Frank, my dad's older brother, is a retired police detective, a man who's seen humanity's highs and lows. He speaks rarely, but when he does, it lands like gospel. We stood at the edge of the yard, away from the tiki torches and lingering guests. "I heard what she said," he said, his voice low, steady, eyes locked on mine. I nodded, jaw tight. "You're a good man, Tom," he said. "You build things to last, real things, strong foundations. That woman? She's all show, no substance." He glanced back at Sarah, laughing with my aunt like nothing was wrong. "You're pissed," he said, not asking. "You want to go home, tear into her, maybe even end it tonight." He was dead on. I was itching to confront her, to let the storm loose. "Don't," he said, voice firm. "That's what she expects, a big fight where she can cry, say it was a dumb joke, and you'll forgive her because you love her. Then she knows she can disrespect you and get away with it. Drama's her game." He put a hand on my shoulder. "A woman who jokes about cheating isn't joking. She's testing your limits, floating a trial balloon to see what you'll tolerate. She's telling you who she is. Your biggest mistake would be not believing her." "What do I do?" I asked, voice tight. His advice was simple, seismic: do nothing. Go home, act normal, let her think she's in the clear. Let her get comfortable. While she's comfortable, you get smart. Find out if that balloon's the only one or if there's a whole damn fleet. Don't get emotional, get information. People like her don't fear anger, they fear being exposed. If you're gonna end it, do it on your terms. Make sure she knows exactly what she lost and why." I looked at Frank and saw it, not weakness, but strategy. He wasn't telling me to roll over, he was handing me a new blueprint, not for building, but for dismantling. The dream of marriage and kids was rubble. The new plan was a controlled demolition, quiet, precise, devastating. I rejoined the party, smiled at Sarah, and started drawing up the plans. Update 1 week later. It's been 7 days since the barbecue, 7 days of playing the devoted boyfriend while quietly gathering intel. Frank's words are my North Star: don't get emotional. Get information. On the drive home that night, Sarah finally broached it. "Are you mad at me?" she asked, voice small, eyes searching. "About what?" I said, glancing over, face neutral. "That joke. It was stupid, just my dark humor." I shrugged. "It's fine. I get it." Her relief was instant, almost tangible. She thought she'd dodged a bullet, that my silence at the party was just me sulking. She had no clue I was re-engineering the entire foundation of our relationship. For days, she was the model girlfriend, extra affectionate, cooking dinner, no more edgy jokes. She thought she'd pushed a boundary and I'd swallowed it. She was comfortable, just like Frank predicted. While she played house, I was working. Was her comment a one-off mistake or a symptom of something rotten? I started with her phone. We'd always had an open policy, shared passcodes, a trust she'd exploited. Late one night, while she slept, I dug in, not for a smoking gun, but for patterns. No blatant texts from other guys, she was too clever for that. But I found something worse, selective deletions. Her chats with certain friends, male coworkers, old college buddies, had gaps, missing days, scrubbed clean. Her call logs showed late-night calls to those same numbers, but the texts were gone. Innocent people don't curate their history like that. Then I hit paydirt, a group chat with her 3 closest friends, dubbed the Freedom Squad. I scrolled back months, a raw feed of their lives, gripes, and schemes. I was a frequent topic, nicknamed the Foreman or Mr. Blueprint. They mocked my boring routines, my 6 a.m. runs, my weekend projects like installing a new deck railing. Sarah's posts were the worst. She vented about feeling caged, craving something alive, not predictable. The day before the barbecue, her friend Jenna asked, "You really ready to settle with Tom forever?" Sarah's reply, "Hell no. He's a great safety net while I figure out what I want. And what I want isn't a guy obsessed with leveling his backyard. Trust me, he's so whipped he'd never suspect a thing. I could cheat tomorrow, bat my eyes, say I love him, and he'd buy it. Lucky for him, I haven't felt like it yet." Jenna, "Careful, girl. He's not stupid." Sarah, "He's clueless. I've got him locked down." There it was, the barbecue joke wasn't a slip, it was her truth, repackaged for laughs, testing how much I'd take. Frank was right, a trial balloon, and behind it, a fleet. I screenshotted everything, saved it to a locked cloud folder. That was my steal, hard evidence. Now I needed a wrecking ball. The opportunity came 2 days later. Sarah came home buzzing. Jenna, her best friend, got engaged in Paris. They were throwing a lavish engagement party in 3 weeks at a swanky Richmond hotel. "It's gonna be epic," Sarah gushed. "Everyone's coming, her whole circle, influencers, the works. We need to get you a new suit, babe. A high-profile party, her social scene, her stage to shine." Perfect. I played along, helped her pick a dress, booked a tailor for my suit, nodded through her chatter about Paris, diamonds, and guest lists. Behind the scenes, I was drafting plans. I called the event planner, a contact from my firm's corporate galas. I pitched a surprise for the couple, a slideshow of their journey to play on the ballroom's big screens. She loved it, sent me the specs for the video file. I spent nights building it, photos of Jenna and her fiancé, candid group shots with Sarah, even a few of us looking happy, the perfect couple. But the final 30 seconds were the payload, Sarah's group chat screenshots, her words in bold, scrolling slowly to soft piano music. "He's a great safety net while I figure out what I want. He's clueless. I could cheat, bat my eyes, and he'd buy it. Lucky for him, I haven't felt like it yet." The video was locked, the stage set. Sarah thought this was her friend's night. She didn't know it was her curtain call. Update 2, the engagement party. The night of the party felt like the hush before a controlled blast. No nerves, just focus. I had a job to do, a structure to bring down, and the tools were ready. The hotel ballroom was a glittering bubble, designer dresses, custom suits, champagne flutes clinking, the hum of people obsessed with their own image. Sarah was electric, working the room, air-kissing influencers, dragging me around like a polished prop. I smiled, shook hands, played the doting boyfriend. I slipped the event planner the USB drive, play it after the father of the bride's toast. She nodded, vanished to the AV booth. The toasts kicked off an hour in. The bride's dad gave a teary speech, the best man roasted the groom gushed about his fiancée. As he rapped, the lights dimmed. The planner's voice crackled over the speakers. "Now, a special surprise from a friend, a tribute to the couple's journey." Soft piano swelled. The slideshow began on 3 massive screens. Sarah squeezed my arm, beaming, "This is so sweet, babe." The first 2 minutes were pure nostalgia, Jenna and her fiancé laughing, traveling, group shots with Sarah, even us smiling together. Guest side, some teared up. Then the music shifted, and the final 30 seconds hit. Sarah's words appeared, stark and massive, "He's a great safety net while I figure out what I want." Her grip on my arm turned to stone. "What the hell is this?" she hissed, voice a choked whisper. The next screenshot, "He's clueless. I could cheat, bat my eyes, and he'd buy it." Murmurs rippled through the crowd, heads turning, eyes darting from screens to Sarah. Shock replaced smiles. The final blow, lucky for him, I haven't felt like it yet. The room went dead silent, the piano music now a mocking elegy. The screens went dark. The lights snapped on. Every eye in that ballroom was on Sarah. Her face was a frozen mask of horror, the confident queen replaced by someone exposed, raw, caught. Her freedom squad friends stood rigid, their own complicity on display. I leaned in, voice a quiet blade, "Not so funny now, is it?" I didn't wait for a response. I stepped back, turned, and walked out, steady, deliberate, leaving the chaos behind. As the door swung shut, I heard the first cries, a man's raised voice, the storm breaking. Uncle Frank was waiting in the lobby. I'd told him my plan that morning, he just nodded and said, "I'll be there." He stood as I approached, a faint, proud smile on his weathered face. "Let's grab a beer," he said. "You look like a man who just walked out of a cage." He was right. I was free. Final update, 6 months later. The demolition is done, and I've spent the last 6 months clearing debris and laying a new foundation. This isn't a story of revenge, it's about consequences and rebuilding. The engagement party imploded. Sarah had a full meltdown, sobbing, trying to explain it away as a misunderstanding. Jenna, the bride-to-be, was livid, her perfect night ruined, her friendship with Sarah torched. Sarah's social circle collapsed like a bad build. Her words, broadcast to her entire world, were undeniable. She wasn't the victim, she was the engineer of her own downfall. Her friends, the Freedom Squad, ditched her, unwilling to be tied to her toxic wake. She tried to spin it, claiming I'd faked the screenshots, painting me as a controlling psycho. It didn't stick. My reputation, built on years of steady work and integrity, held firm. Her words were her own, and no one bought her deflections. Her job at a boutique PR firm took a hit. Jenna's fiancé, a senior exec at a partnering agency, didn't fire her outright, but the office turned cold, whispers, sidelong glances, a reputation she couldn't outrun. She quit within a month. She had to move out of my house, of course. I'd already boxed her things, left them in the garage. Her dad came to pick them up, a quiet man I'd always liked. When I saw him weeks later at a hardware store, he couldn't meet my eyes, shame weighing him down. Sarah's now in a cheap one-bedroom across town, working a low-level admin job, piecing together a new life with no safety net, no friends, no spotlight. 2 months ago, she sent a long email, part apology, part accusation, part self-pity. She called the barbecue comment the worst mistake of my life, swore she didn't mean it, just wanted to seem edgy. She blamed Frank, calling him a bitter old cop, for his advice. That's when I knew she hadn't learned a thing, still pointing fingers, dodging the mirror. I deleted it without replying. My life's good now, quiet, grounded. I'm spending more time with family, the people who've always been my steel and concrete. Frank and I go fishing every other weekend, casting lines into the James River. We don't talk about Sarah, we don't need to. He just slaps my shoulder and says, "You did right, kid." The real revenge wasn't the slideshow or the public exposure. It was believing her. She told me who she was at that barbecue, and Frank taught me to listen. She thought she could play a game, keep my stability while dangling her options. She didn't understand that commitment isn't a game to me, it's a structure, a promise. When you show your promises are hollow, I don't scream or fight. I dismantle the building and start fresh on solid ground. The new foundation I'm laying is stronger than ever.